watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Welcome to the ESPN Events Invitational. Here at Disney, Orlando, Florida, the site of college hoops once again this year. And we are so glad you are with us for our final quarterfinal of this year's event at State Farm Fieldhouse. It's the Boise State Broncos out of the Mountain West Conference against the Virginia Tech Hokies from the ACC. 3 semifinal spots already punched. Texas A&M, FAU, and Iowa State comes from 15 down earlier tonight to take down VCU. Who will the Cyclones face tomorrow in the second semifinal? And welcome everybody with King McClure. I'm Doug Sherman. So glad you're with us here for our nightcap on what's been a marvelous day and evening of basketball. And in this game, King, you think it might be a battle of the bigs.
It really could come down to that. When you look at Lynn Kidd versus Cam Martin from Boise State, we'll get into his story later on, but it could come down to an interior battle. Well,
let's show you a little bit what King is talking about. Lynn Kidd is playing the best basketball of his career by far.
You want to talk about a jump? Lynn Kidd last year only averaged 5 points, and now he's averaging 22 and 11 in the last two, 17 and a half and almost 10, almost a double-double on the season. He is a force on the offensive side, especially on the glass. But on the other side of things, for Boise State, Chibuzo Agbo is looking like a pro right now, Doug. The shots that he is taking, contested threes in the last 2 games, 5 for 7 from 3, and those weren't just wide open catch and shoots. These are contested. These are tough. He is looking like a pro, great size, great frame. They're going to have an answer for him.
6'7" senior from San Diego out of St. Augustine High School, Chibuzo Agbo, will be facing this group of Virginia Tech Hokies, coming in with a record of 3-1 for head coach Mike Young. Sean Padula, the junior, second-year starter at the point, having a really good start to his year. Hunter Couture, this is a homecoming. He could and should, in his hometown, set the all-time Hokies record for made three-pointers in a career. Robbie Barron, Lynn Kidd, M.J. Collins going with a 3-guard look. And this has been somewhat typical for Mike Young now in year number 5 at Virginia Tech. Usually 1 in, 4 out, spread the floor and try to find lanes.
Yeah, I love the way that they play basketball. And you talk about Hunter Couture breaking the record. I mean, he is an elite shooter. And I'm a huge fan of Sean Padula. I love the confidence he plays with. He can really get creative off the bounce. I'm a big fan of this team.
Meanwhile, the Broncos come in off a huge loss at Clemson. They came east and played Sunday against the Tigers, who thumped them 85-68. Agbo scored 18 points, but Joe Girard III went off, leading Clemson for 23 points. So Agbo, Max Rice, Jace Whiting, Tyson Dagenhart, and Cam Martin looking for a bounce back and a chance to get back into the win column. Out of the Mountain West Conference, they are picked number 2 behind San Diego State. And I've got another big along with Agbo. Keep your eye on Cam Martin, who is kind of a hybrid. He is their best passer as well, out of the post.
Yeah, we were talking to Leon Rice yesterday before yesterday during the shooting rounds. And one thing, he spent a lot of time at Gonzaga, and one thing Gonzaga would always have is a 5-man who played on the perimeter and orchestrated the offense. Almost, I'm not saying he's this level of player, but almost very similar to what Jokic does for the Nuggets. They love to play this 5-out system where their big man is setting everybody up on backdoor screens, and he's able to find the open man. So watch Cam Martin when he has the ball offensively.
And this is Boise State with it in their blue uniforms, white lettering, orange trim. Virginia Tech in the whites with the familiar Chicago maroon and orange. Right to the basket for an easy 2 to start the ball game. Jace Whiting.
Yeah, Jace Whiting not really known for his scoring, more of a backup point guard who is a facilitator. But right there, the move to break the man down and get to the cup. Great finish.
M.J. Collins, who's made a big step from freshman to sophomore year, misses on the lefty bank shot. Whiting feeds the post. Tyson Dagenhart with the reverse and a chance for 3. This senior from Spokane is really good. 2 years ago, the freshman of the year of the Mountain West. Last year, first team all-conference.
Now, he's one of the 2 guys. Him and Max Rice are the two guys who I expect to have a big bounce-back game. They didn't play great against Clemson. And one thing that Coach Rice said is those two, out of their big three, when you look at Ogbo, Degenhardt, and Rice, 2 out of the 3 really haven't been performing and playing up to the level and what they're capable of. So I expect Degenhardt and Rice to have a huge game tonight.
5-0, quick start for Boise State. Collins again penetrates and again goes to the left hand. Missed it. Lynn Kidd gets the offensive rebound. Kick it out. Padula for 3. Abo with the rebound.
Got the mismatch one-on-one with Padula right there. That is what Boise State wants.
Degenhardt passes out of it. Rice had it poked away. Here's Padula, the 6'1" junior from Edmond, Oklahoma, spinning into the lane and drawing the foul on Max Rice. Padula had a brilliant 26-point performance against South Carolina back on the 10th of November in the Hall of Fame Series, Charlotte. It was a loss against the Gamecocks, but Padula showed another sign that he is going to be a force this year in the ACC.
He talked about his confidence in the open, and that's what I think gets him by, because he is not the fastest, he is not the most athletic, but he will get it done. He is very, very solid, can distribute, but his scoring one-on-one, he has a lot in his bag.
Well, he's the 3rd youngest of 9. His parents are both New Yorkers. They fight for everything.
Man.
There's the toughness.
Could you imagine having 8 siblings?
No. And the battles in their driveway are legendary. It's big brothers beating up on it.
Wait, how many siblings do you have?
2.
Okay.
I'm the youngest of 3 boys, so I took my share of beatings.
So you're a little squirrel.
Well, that's one way to look at it, I guess. I don't think you know me that well, kid. How about the move by Cam Martin? You don't score over 2,100 points in your 7-year career without having a few tricks in your bag.
7 years. Being in college for 7 years. I could really be in there for 4. I didn't want to be in there for 4. But 7 years is wild.
Doesn't sound bad to me. College was fun.
I mean, I had fun, but 7 years. You don't want to get out of there? Oh, that's great defense right there.
Whiting, blocked. Robbie Barron got a piece. He'll stay at this end as it ricocheted out of bounds.
Didn't love the drive from Whiting, even though that was great defense on the opposite side. You didn't have the numbers. It was 3-on-3. He should have kicked it back out and set things up, but this is where you learn. He's still young in his career. He has to be able to realize when you don't have numbers, pull something up, put something out, and get a good offensive possession for your team.
Max Rice puts it on the deck. Got a size advantage over Collins, and he gets the friendly bounce.
That's one thing that Max Rice loves to do. If you beat him to the spot when he drives, he will post you up because at 6'5", he's taller than a lot of guards that he plays against.
Padula has it poked away. Able to recover, 16 on the shot clock, and a bad pass trying to find Lynn Kidd on the post. Taken away by Cam Martin. What an entry pass. Inside to Degenhardt. 11-2 Boise State in the blink of an eye.
And this Boise State team is coming out refocused after they took a beat down at Clemson. This team right here is coming out with all of the energy. And they are the same team that Leon Rice wanted to see, and Degenhardt just getting easy buckets.
Boise State with the early 11-2 lead, along with King Rice. I'm Doug Sherman in this 4th quarterfinal from State Farm Fieldhouse in Orlando. The winner will advance to the semifinal round tomorrow to take on an Iowa State team that we saw earlier tonight with a brilliant come-from-behind performance to beat VCU. And Virginia Tech needs to respond against the Broncos, who have come out flying.
Right now, I would look for Virginia Tech to play through Lynn Kidd. They love the dribble handoffs with Kidd and Couture for him to get a wide open 3.
Lynn Kidd was begging for the ball, finally gets it, goes to the left hand, a little strong. Martin gives it back. Abo for three. He's now 6 of 12 on the year from distance.
The jump that he has made, I saw him a little bit when he was at Tech because he didn't play much. But to see him then to now, two different players. And Couture right there following it up with a three. He is shooting 50% from three in the last 2 games. He is what we call an elite shooter. We call him an MD. You know what MD stands for?
Tell me.
Must dribble.
Gotcha.
If you let him get a clean, wide open look, you're not doing your job.
Well, he is 1 away from catching A.D. Vasallo for the all-time three-point makes record at Virginia Tech. Abo working against Couture.
Oh, my goodness.
Couture did what he could.
The development. One thing that we have to give credit to Coach Rice for is developing Abo into the player he is today. The turnaround fade, the confidence, it is exuding right now.
That was a 2-point try with his foot on the line, M.J. Collins. Abo feeling it. Well, that's a shooter's roll. Got everything but the finish.
He shoots it with soft touch. You saw it right there, the double bounce.
Padula no. Degenhart with a rebound in the outlet. Whiting quickly ahead into the front court to Rice, who lets loose from deep. Lynn Kidd shooting 79% from the floor. Couture ties A.D. Vasallo for the most threes in Tech history.
That is what they specialize in. They love the down screen dribble handoff. It's such an awkward angle as a defender to come and chase.
Degenhart slips the screen, pass deflected away. Here comes Padula. He's got Kidd trailing. Give it to the big fella. And a chance for three. Martin commits the foul. Here in the shadow of Epcot. Broncos up early. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Experience Kissimmee. Plan your trip to Kissimmee, the big, bold heart of Florida. Well, Virginia Tech head coach Mike Young running some good offense here.
This is their bread and butter. When Lynn Kidd catches this ball, Couture is on the bottom. Look how far, as a defender, you have to chase. Lock and trail, as we like to call it. Look how far you have to chase. That's not easy to get hit by the double screen. They free him up and do a great job of getting Couture open looks. This is why he is going to break the record.
He was the ACC tournament MVP 2 years ago in 2022 when he went for 31 points. There you see he is 1-3 away from passing Vasallo. Already has Delaney, Lancaster, and Bibbs in his rearview mirror. This is 5th year. Grad student from right here in Orlando out of Bishop Moore High School, which is only about 30 miles north. And there's mom and dad who have made the short drive to root on their son. They got a chance to see a little piece of history here tonight. And we also want to pass along Rodney, Hunter's father, recently has been declared in remission after battling pancreatic cancer. So it's certainly a Thanksgiving to give thanks for the Couture family.
Yeah, 100%. That's not an easy thing to go through. Had an aunt that has dealt with cancer. That's not easy.
Omar Stanley has come into the game, #1 in blue for Boise State, as well as R.J. Keene, #5, and Roddy Anderson coming off the bench with the basketball. Abo gives it back to Anderson, but Padula knocked it out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock for Boise State. And so Degenhart, the senior out of Mount Spokane High School in Washington, with the inbound. 5 seconds now on the shot clock, and they go to Degenhart. Size advantage over the left shoulder for 2.
He's such a mismatch problem because he can play inside and out. but down low, whenever he posts up a wing who's smaller than him, he's typically going to score. He's extremely efficient down there.
And you know what, King? Now with the added size on the roster for Boise State this year, Degenhart has more of those mismatches when he's playing the 4 or the 3.
Yes, last year they had a shorter team, so he had to sometimes even play the 5.
Here he is, out between the rings of the basketball, playing with the face mask. Here's Stanley, the St. John's transfer. Tough shot. Elijah Poteet playing good defense there for Virginia Tech. Padula leans in, blocks from behind. Giving up some size there. R.J. Keene at 6'7", able to get the rejection. Degenhart right to the basket for 2. Boise State back up by 9.
It's just a little too easy right there in transition. Nobody even stopped them or turned them. They literally gave him a straight path to the lane.
Makai Long, grad transfer into the game, pass to Couture. He finds Poteet for the slam dunk.
That is what we call the Steph Curry effect. Whenever you are setting a down screen for an elite shooter, 2 automatically jump because he is so deadly from 3 that it frees up the cutter or the roller as the big.
There's a nice back cut. Terrific feed from Stanley inside to Keene.
You know, one thing we talk about Leon Rice doing is coaching his bigs how to pass. When we look at Stanley, when we look at Martin, they are elite passers.
Couture for the record, and a chance for 4.
Oh my goodness. He is such an elite shooter that being there is not good enough. You have to make him put the ball on the floor. He is a must dribble. He is elite. That is too much space. Hunter Couture, way to break the record, man.
The peach cobbler, my mom's peach cobbler and my grandpa's, nobody else's. Sorry, not sorry.
Not pumpkin pie, it is apple pie.
Pumpkin pie. 1 slice, please.
Oh, I love pumpkin pie, pecan pie.
I'm not a big dessert guy. I like meat and potatoes.
Pecan, however you want to say it. Pecan pie with ice cream on top.
Honestly, I just go back for the mashed potatoes and gravy. That's kind of my dessert.
I like that from JC. Have you figured out whether you prefer pecan or pecan yet?
You know, I typically say pecan because I'm from Texas.
Right.
And that's how we say it. But apparently in the East Coast, they say pecan.
Yeah, but
what is pecan?
I've learned from you Southerners this week that I apparently say some things not correct.
Where are you from?
The North. I'm from New York. We say everything correctly.
You say tournament?
No, those are New Jersey people who say tournament. I say tournament.
Okay, tournament is normal. But I remember the first time I was working with a guy from New Jersey, he said tournament. I said, what'd you say?
Yeah, that's more a Jersey thing.
So what do you say that's weird?
Well, there's a lot of things I say that are weird. Apparently, and I just had this pointed out to me as Couture misses the chance for 4-point play. Apparently, I say foul with 2 syllables as opposed to a Southern foul. It's not a foul. This is what Corey Alexander was giving me grief about yesterday, that apparently I say it with 2 syllables, which to me is the normal way to say it.
Foul. Yeah, I didn't even know that word could have 2 syllables in it.
Like it rhymed with towel.
Yeah, that's not it. That's not it.
We can agree to disagree. Well, Boise State with the basketball up by 6. And again, the man of the hour for Virginia Tech has been Hunter Couture. He's got 9 of the 16 Hokie points on 3 made 3-pointers. Roddy Anderson the third, 4-3. Whether he starts or coming off the bench, the UC San Diego transfer having a nice start to his sophomore year.
And I think Roddy Anderson has so much more that he can give to this team. Last year at UC San Diego, he averaged 13 points per game. He's not shy when it comes to scoring the basketball. I think he can take this team to a different level, especially replacing Marcus Shavers from last year.
Poteet has it poked away, knocked away again. Poteet gets the ball back, tries to shovel the pass to Makai Long, and he fights through the contact for a layup. Former Old Dominion Monarch, a grad transfer from ODU, has his first 2 points, back to a 7-point game. Degenhart draws the second defender. They get the ball to the open man, Anderson, into the lane. A little too strong off the window. Degenhart gets the offensive rebound and is fouled on the floor. Fouled on the floor, not fouled on the floor. Foul. Foul.
I love the energy that we're seeing from Degenhart. After not having his best performance, you can tell he's refocused right now, and you can tell he's playing with a different sense of urgency.
And Degenhart already with 9 of the 25 Boise State points, averaging 12 on the young season. This only the 4th game of the year for the Broncos. Keene and Kobe Young go out for Boise State. Back into the game, Max Rice. Anderson goes to the corner to the other new man back on the floor, and boy, Abo has got the touch tonight.
Because he shoots it so high, if you are there contesting, he's not seeing it because he also elevates. The high release in the elevation allows it to where he doesn't see your contest.
Everything but the finish for Hunter Couture. Anderson to the corner. Abo misses this one. Padula comes down with it. Hokies down 10 with a basketball.
It's almost like Abo needs to be contested in order for him to make shots, because the wide open ones he has not hit today.
Poteet using his size. My goodness, that was well done.
Poteet is probably, when you talk about efficiency, one of the most efficient players on this Virginia Tech team. He is a low down low.
Yeah, they list him at 6'9", 265, a senior out of Reidsville, North Carolina, who began his college career as a Rice Owl. Padula averages 16 per game. Off to Couture. Quick catch and release, no.
You know, Couture is one of those guys. Every single time he shoots the basketball, I think it's going in.
No doubt. Stanley with no secondary help on the defense, able to lay it in.
Might have gotten away with a travel right there. Shuffled his feet on the catch, but easy bucket right there.
Tyler Nickel is coming to the game for Virginia Tech, number 23 in white. Coming off a terrific shooting performance in the win over Wofford Sunday. Padula pulls up. Anderson. Tough shot by Rice. Stanley trying to clean it up, and he's fouled.
Anderson should have got rid of the basketball a second earlier. He was a second too late, which made a tough contested layup for Max Rice. Should have seen it a little bit earlier. And look at this. Now it's a tough contested layup. If you would have got rid of it a second earlier, it would have been an easy 2 points, and you're going back down playing defense.
So now Omar Stanley from Overland Park, Kansas, out of Blue Valley West High School. And as mentioned, he spent the last couple of years at St. John's in Queens, New York, but with their changeover, Rick Pitino kept exactly one player, which kind of epitomizes where we are now with, you have a coaching change.
Is that Soriano?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soriano played well last week. He played extremely well.
They're the key transfers we've been talking about for Boise State. And it's interesting, Leon Rice told us yesterday after shoot-around that he really needs to say thank you to the UC San Diego coaches for coaching up Roddy Anderson and giving him an opportunity as a true freshman that Coach Rice was not ready to give him the year prior. But after playing so well in the Big West Conference a year ago, Coach Rice offered the scholarship, an opportunity to go to Boise. He took advantage of it, and now Coach Rice has a more complete player.
He's definitely got a player in Anderson, who I think we really haven't even seen much from yet. Good defense right there.
Couture says, give me that. Oh, Lynn Kidd comes down with it and able to bank it in. Boy, that's how you wind up shooting almost 80% on the year.
Extremely efficient. He has a NBA frame when you look at him, and he is really, really skilled. He can go over either shoulder, finish with the left or the right hand. He's a mismatch problem and an easy 2 points a lot of times when you go down low.
And King, we've talked about the development as a foul is called. Lynn Kidd, as a freshman at Clemson, appeared in only 7 games and played a total of 33 minutes. Now he's averaging 17 points, and you're talking about a potential in the NBA. Timeout here in Orlando. In Atlantis, they are down to 4. The semifinals are set. North Carolina and Villanova. And then Memphis defeated Michigan, and Arkansas, the number 20 team in the country, defeated Stanford, so they will take on the Tigers in the other semifinal. We give thanks on this Thanksgiving for all the college hoops that we get to enjoy every single year, King.
We do, and Memphis is looking good. They have one of my favorite players who I'm happy for him. I hope that he just really goes off because he took a lot of heat when he was at Alabama in Javon Quinterly. He is one of my favorite players in college basketball. I really love the way he plays the game.
And you remember where he started his career?
Yeah, started at Villanova.
At Villanova.
So maybe he has a chance to prove them wrong. Bang, bang.
Abo, no. Padula taps it to Robbie Barron, the former Northwestern Wildcat. Spent 4 years in the Big Ten Conference. Now playing as a graduate student in the ACC. Padula just willing his way to the bucket. Chase Whiting was not able to stop him.
And that's one thing we see with Padula. He's short, but he's stocky and has a nice, strong frame. So he can draw contact when he goes to the rim and absorb it and get tough buckets.
This is Max Rice, the older of the 2 boys for Leon Rice on his roster. The 6th-year senior finds the wing shooter in Omar Stanley.
Yeah, that's not what Omar Stanley does, but the way he shot it, the way it looked, it actually looked pretty good.
His first made 3 of the year after missing 3 times. When Kidd comes free, Barron finds him for the layup.
That's one of the 2 actions you have to be aware of when you're playing Virginia Tech. The down screen into the dribble handoff, but also the cross screen. They get that a lot of times throughout the game.
Barron the takeaway. Can he go end to end? Indeed he can.
Hey. He plays extremely hard. That is what he's on the court to do. Defend, play hard, rebound.
Native of Richmond, Virginia, who is pursuing his master's degree in applied animal behavior and welfare.
Applied animal behavior. What in the world is that?
Well, he wrote a piece about it, a nice piece on his 3 dogs. By the way, hello to Smokey, Stella, and Ivy if you're watching. That explains exactly what that major is. You'll have to look it up. I can send it to you.
Did you read it?
No.
So then why are you going to send it to me like I'm about to read it?
So you can read it and tell me.
I was expecting you to give me a synopsis.
Stanley the miss out of bounds. Back to the Hokies. Yeah, I'd never heard of that major either. Did they offer that at Baylor?
If they did, I wasn't nowhere near that. This right here is a great call. The ball definitely off of Abo.
Now Stanley will sit, as will Jace Whiting. Back into the lineup for Boise State, Roddy Anderson and Tyson Dagenhart. Under 5 minutes to go in the half. Can't give that guy that kind of room. Hunter Couture with another 3-pointer.
You're just giving him too much space, and it's harder than it looks because you would think that when you have a guy that's that deadly of a shooter that you would just try to take him away. But Mike Young does a great job putting him in situations where it's hard for the defense to close out.
Makai Long with his head up, gives it to Couture. Big offensive rebound for Poteet, but then Long traveled. There's the 60-year-old native of Radford, Virginia, grew up rooting for the Hokies. Used to go to Virginia Tech games as a kid. Now he's the head coach after having been a really good player at a Division II school in the state of Virginia, Emory and Henry College, back in the mid-'80s.
Now, how cool is that? You grew up going to Virginia Tech games.
Extremely cool.
And now you end up being the head coach.
Yep.
It's like a dream come true. Hunter Couture broke the record, and now he definitely wants to make sure nobody ever comes close, because this man right here is elite.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's knows home improvement. And this is the home of Hunter Couture, who played here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex as a youth coming up, not just in basketball, but in 3 different sports. You know, he grew up only about 35 minutes from here, and he played basketball, soccer, and was a very good football quarterback who played some games here on this complex.
Oh, wow. Multi-sport athlete, we love to see it.
Out of Bishop Moore High School here in Orlando. He originally committed to Mike Young at Wofford, but then decommitted and followed Coach Young when he took the job at Virginia Tech. Here is Couture feeding the post, and there you go, talking about the double team coming at him. Found the open man, and we've got a chance for 2 free throws upcoming for Lynn Kidd.
Yeah, that is, once again, the Steph Curry effect. Whenever you come out on any type of cross screen, down screen, look at this. Automatically 2 come towards Couture because he is that lethal of a shooter, which allows him to be able to be a great passer, because typically when you watch Steph Curry, a lot of people don't associate him being a great passer, but his shooting allows him to be able to free people up.
Here are our featured college football rivalry weekend matchups. Number 7, Texas and Texas Tech tomorrow night on ESPN. Then Saturday night, Florida State. How will they respond? How will the voters respond to the Seminoles without Jordan Travis? Already in the ACC championship game, they'll take on Florida. And then on ABC, number 1 Georgia taking on Georgia Tech for the 115th time. The Broncos with the basketball, trying to snap a 9-0 Tech run. Cam Martin, no. Virginia Tech can take the lead.
Oh.
And the former North Carolina Tar Heel goes end to end. First 2 points from Tyler Nickel makes it 35-34. And Boise State calls timeout.
Tyler Nickel, known more so as a shooter, but as my man shows, he can get to the cup, and I love the way he finishes. He finished it with a little bit of jelly. Put a little bit of English on it right there.
Just a little.
It's a little bit. Like he didn't really need it.
Like a smidge.
He could have finished it with the left hand, but it looked good. He finished it with a little bit of jelly, and I love it because he's more than just a shooter.
Just a taste after not really being able to play himself into Hubert Davis's rotation last year as a really good recruit. He was in the ESPN 100 in 2022. He picked Carolina over Tech, but had a change of heart after last season in Chapel Hill. And he's playing a much bigger role for the Hokies so far this year.
He can really, really play. I mean, look at these guys that Mike Young brought in, and they all play significant roles, and they're all really talented. But Tyler Nickel is a hooper. He can shoot the ball. He's extremely confident. You see what people thought of him, and you see why he was ranked in the top 100.
Now you see Robbie Barron came in as a grad transfer from Northwestern, and Mekhi Long, also a grad transfer from ODU, reinforcing things from Mike Young's Hokies. 3 minutes to go, first half. The winner gets Iowa State in the semifinals tomorrow at the ESPN Events Invitational. Stanley. Dagenhart, no. And Padula up to clear the glass. Nickel fakes the pass. Tough runner. And he'll have a chance for 3. Ooh.
this is a close one. And with the new charge rule, let's take a look and see if this is actually a charge. With the rule, the defender has to be set by the time the offensive player gathers. And right there, we probably should have slowed it down a little bit, but right there, I really couldn't tell.
Nicholas got 5 quick points off the bench, coming off a 14-point performance against Wofford on Sunday.
Doug, I think this is the time where Abo or Max Rice has to get aggressive.
Well, Stanley got aggressive, and he has a chance for 3.
Oh. Well, Stanley's coming off one of his better games. And even though they lost to Clemson, he was really having his way down low with the bigs of Clemson. He had 11 and 4 last game, probably his best game of the season. He's averaging 12 on the year. But Omar Stanley plays with such a high motor that he's really hard to guard down low.
First foul on Poteet, who takes a seat on the Tech bench, replaced by Lynn Kidd. Bobby Barron grabs the rebound. Tech with the basketball, on top by 2.
Oh, good pass.
Padula to the corner. Nickel working the baseline, draws a couple of defenders. Kidd gives it back to him. Padula from long range. Now, one of the best things about these multi-team events is we have a foul off the ball that's going to go against Sean Padula. From the seat of his pants, he argues his case to no avail. That is his first personal foul. But I was starting to say, one of the beautiful things about these MTEs is, you know, for a mid-major out of the Mountain West Conference, it's an opportunity to face an ACC Power Conference opponent on a neutral court. And it's something that Leon Rice and this program over the course of the last 14 years have taken great advantage of.
Yeah, because who wants to schedule a Boise State? We see the same thing with a team like Vermont. Vermont in the Charleston Classic or in the Myrtle Beach Classic, were absolutely, I think it was the Charleston Myrtle Beach, one of the two. They were dominant, but nobody wants to play Vermont in the non-conference because they're old and they can beat you on your home court.
And you can see, along with San Diego State in recent years, these are the two teams that have really been a problem in the non-conference, and Coach Rice has done a terrific job of making sure they are in these events. And if you can come and pick up a couple of wins, maybe win the whole thing, you set the tone for what can be a great year that winds up in the NCAA tournament. They've been to the last 2 NCAAs. Rice has taken them a number of times, and this team has the makings once again of being somebody who can go dancing.
Well, one thing about Leon Rice is he's used to winning. I mean, he was around some great players and great teams at Gonzaga. I mean, yesterday we're sitting there talking to him. He's talking about his time with Adam Morrison, who had one of the greatest seasons that we have ever seen in college basketball, and they won. And Adam Morrison, he said Adam Morrison came and talked to the team about a few weeks ago. You know, those relationships that Leon Rice was able to build and cultivate while he was at Gonzaga, he is used to winning. He expects to win. And right now, this is what Boise State typically does.
Coach Rice has picked up a technical foul. And so Padula trying to make the Broncos coach pay. Well, when Leon Rice took the job, leaving Mark Few at Gonzaga, his son Max was 9 years old, and up to that time it was all Zags in the family, of course. Jeremy Pargo was his guy, loved Ronnie Turioff.
Yeah.
And like you
Great
said,
players.
They grew up around winning. First in Spokane and then at Boise for the last 14 years. And there's the 6-year senior. So good that his hips are doing better. He has dealt with so many injury issues throughout his career. On cue, number 12 with a triple.
He shoots that ball so high that it has no choice but to drop in. But he definitely has a low release, though. His release is extremely low, but gets it up so high that it makes it a little bit harder to contest.
Foul off the ball. An illegal screen against Virginia Tech. And it's on Robbie Barron.
And the reason why that screen was illegal, he did not move, but his feet were longer or wider than his shoulders. You have to be shoulder width apart on your screens. Because his feet were wider, they called it an illegal screen despite him not moving.
And so that is his second personal foul. And the 7th on Virginia Tech. Both teams with those 7 with under a minute to go in the half.
Max Rice just hit one. Let's see if they come up with something to get him another shot.
Jace Whiting back into the game, gets it to Max Rice. Goes around nickel, puts it up, can't get the roll. Kidd had it for a moment. Tech with the basketball. Padula gives to Kidd. Everything but the finish, but we get the foul call against the Broncos.
Foul might have came a little late. But I do think Kidd was fouled, but the whistle was a little late.
First personal, 18 foul.
Foul on Stanley, his first. And the 8th against Boise State. Well, it's a homecoming for Lynn Kidd as well. He's from Gainesville. Played his high school basketball at IMG Academy in Bradenton.
Great program.
Now, he was a backup at IMG because they had Zach Edey, Jalen Johnson, Mark Williams, Musa Diabate, Brandon Huntley Hatfield, and oh, by the way, this kid named Lynn Kidd.
Goodness gracious.
How do you get on the court?
Who wants to schedule them? Man, it's almost like that Montverde team this year with Cooper Flag.
No doubt.
Look, you got me messed up thinking I'm going to schedule you. You're not about to embarrass me like that.
Boise State holding for a final shot here in the half. Stanley gives to Whiting. The horn sounded, and then the signal for the end of the half comes. And that is where we will head to the intermission with Mike Young's team on top 44-41.
This was a great first half battle. It took Virginia Tech a little bit of time to wake up, but when they finally woke up, the defense kicked in. They made it tougher for Boise State, but I'm interested to see what adjustments will be made because Boise went on a little bit of a drought. So what adjustments will Leon Rice make at halftime for them to come out?
On a record-setting first half for Hunter Couture, he leads all scorers with 12 points. Lynn Kidd's got 11, and the Hokies looking for their 4th win of the year. Our halftime score, Virginia Tech 44, Boise State 41. In our nightcap here in Orlando on the quarterfinal round of the ESPN Events Invitational. Halftime here in Orlando. Watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Welcome back to the ESPN Events Invitational. We are set for the start of the second half between Boise State and Virginia Tech. The Hokies coming from behind now with a 3-point lead over the Broncos. With King McClure, I'm Doug Sherman. And welcome back. We had ourselves a competitive, fun first half. We're looking for more of the same in the second.
We did, and what we saw is 2 teams with a lot of offensive firepower. And I think this second half is going to come down to who gets the most stops. And I know that sounds cliche, and that's whatever all coaches say, but that's legitimately what it will come down to because of the offensive firepower that both teams have. And it starts for Boise State with Tyson Degenhardt. We saw him be a mismatch problem. Down low, he can post you up when he has a smaller defender on him, and he can finish through contact, but he can also step out a little bit. He is what we would like to classify as easy, instant offense. But on the other side of things, Hunter Couture lit it up. He broke the record, and Boise State has to make this man dribble. Because if you don't, you're not doing your job. He is too good of a shooter. I'd say he is one of the best shooters in all of college basketball.
Just underway, start of the second half. Hokies with the basketball first, in they go to Lynn Kidd. The defender goes down, and it is a blocking foul. That goes against Max Rice. And here's a look at the first half statistics. Both teams shot extremely well, made a good percentage of the three-point shots, even all the way around. And, oh, by the way, Hunter Couture, by hitting those 4 three-point shots, passed A.D. Desayo and is now the #1 three-point shooting king in Hokies program history. Padula went to the left hand, couldn't finish the layup. And now for Boise State, how do you get Cam Martin more involved? He played a quiet 11 minutes in that first half. Robbie Barron gets the start in the second half in the block shot. Padula goes to the left hand again and gets it blocked. And now here comes Rice. So I'll ask you again in transition as Degenhart goes up and gets it, and he'll go to the line. How, if you are Boise State, do you get Cam Martin, a young man who scored about 2,200 points in his career, more involved in the offense?
Well, one thing I would not do is I would not, and this is a very risky pass. Degenhart shows his athleticism, looking like C.D. Lamb trying to catch the ball over the cornerback. But one thing I wouldn't do if I'm Boise State is allow him to play one-on-one with Lynn Kidd down there. Lynn Kidd has him on size and athleticism, even though Cam Martin is a very, very, very skilled scorer. I would like him to play through the pinch post, play through the middle of the floor, orchestrate. I want to see him in his passing, get teammates open. And I think when you see him get his teammates open in his passing to create the passing lanes, I think that we'll see his scoring also step up as well.
Yeah, 2 points on only 1 of 3 shooting, 1 assist, couple of rebounds. Foul on the inbound.
And I think that's what also makes him so dangerous, is that he doesn't have to score in order to be effective. There's multiple things he can do on a basketball court to help you win.
Foul number 3 on M.J. Collins, so just 53 seconds into the second half, he is back to the bench. Tyler Nickel in there. In they go to Martin. Steps right around the defense of Lynn Kidd and lays it in.
Boy, he proved me wrong, Doug.
At least on one possession. Again, you don't score 2,200 points without having different things in your offensive repertoire. He can be a weapon for these guys, obviously.
He's extremely skilled. Probably one of the most skilled big men that Leon Rice has had at Boise.
There he is with the rebound. Last 2 years he spent in Lawrence, Kansas with the Jayhawks and was a redshirt on the national title team for Kansas a couple of years ago. Then was a medical redshirt last year. And now the foul is called.
Oh, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one.
I guess they're saying he stuck his hip out. Boy, I don't know either.
Yeah, that's not a foul. Doug Sermons is an elite ref, one of the best in the country, but he got this one wrong. That is not an offensive foul.
And the Hokies take advantage at the other end thanks to the triple by Nickel. Max Rice picks up his dribble, tries to go back door. Good defense by Barron to anticipate the cut by Degenhart. The pass goes out of bounds untouched.
You know, one thing about the guards of Virginia Tech that I think a lot of people overlook is their willingness to defend. They do a good job of climbing up in you and making it tough and making you second guess a lot of your movements.
Here's Couture. His pass deflected out of bounds. 19 on the shot clock.
And that's elite by Abo right there, because on the what screen is it? The ghost screen. There we go. How did I forget that? We ran a lot of those at Baylor. On the ghost screen, Couture is wide open, so he had to go tag, but he didn't allow the corner pass. Great defense from Abo that possession.
Lynn Kidd. Barron gets in and ties it up with Abo. Neither relents. And Barron is fired up. Comes away with a big smile and his tongue out.
I like the energy from Barron. I like the energy. I like the competition right here. Nobody wants to let go of the ball. And Barron getting his team fired up. I think that's all what he did, because he turned around with a smile. He wasn't upset. It was strictly to fire his team up.
A Hokie is down on the court. And play is stopped. And you see it's Hunter Couture. And there is blood on his left hand.
Take a look at it.
Foul's under review. It was an elbow above the shoulders that clearly caught Couture.
And nothing right there looks like Abo meant to do it. It looked like Abo was trying to come through, and he didn't. It looked like the intent was not to hit him in the face. He put his arms up because he was wrapped around the waist. I don't think this is anything flagrant.
But you've still got to recognize that your elbow's about to hit somebody in the face.
Yeah. I think that they might rule it because it was above the shoulders, but I don't think the intent was there. A lot of times referee takes into account an intent. I don't think the intent was right there.
So just a common foul.
Yeah. I agree with that call, because Abo was trying to run through and he got wrapped up and he put his arms up. And typically when you see a player put his arms up, it's more so to show that, hey, I'm getting wrapped. I am not trying to foul. I'm putting my hands up to show you, referee, where my hands are so you don't call anything on me. And he just so happened to hit Couture with an elbow. Nothing flagrant, nothing malicious right there.
And if you're Hunter Couture, you're saying to your cut man, hurry up, I want those free throws.
And I've had a few of those. I have a few of those. I actually have a scar on my left eye right here.
There you go.
Right above, underneath my eyebrow, to where I hit the floor with the face first, and I started leaking. Not a fun thing.
Well, no free throws. Couture continues on the sideline at the end of the Virginia Tech bench to receive treatment as the Hokies possess the ball up 4.
You know, it leaves a cool scar.
How many stitches did that take?
I think it took about like 3 or 4.
Okay.
It left a cool scar.
Nice. Good story afterward. Padula in double figures. The lead is 6.
I like this right here. Post up Max Rice at 6'5". Padula's only about 6 foot. I like that right there. Be intentional about going at that every single possession. Make them double.
Out of Bishop Kelly High School in Boise. He's now got 7 points. Catch and shoot for Nickel off the back iron. In a blur, here comes Max Rice. And again, looking to back down Padula into the lane, goes around him. Easy 2 for the 6th-year senior.
So crafty in the post, but he's also so patient. Doesn't rush anything, takes his time, gets what he wants every single time in the post.
Lynn Kidd turned away from a pass he didn't know was coming, and here comes Jace Whiting.
Padula's better than that. He has to know when you have a mismatch with a smaller guard, you got to throw the ball up, and right there, Abo, in transition, you better guard him.
He's got 11. Boise State back in front. Next stoppage, Hunter Couture will come back into the game. He's at the scorer's table. Martin to foul. No, it's on Lynn Kidd on the post entry. Timeout here at State Farm Fieldhouse with Boise State riding a 7-0 run. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's knows home improvement. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching. From those of us working on this holiday, and I use that term loosely for King McClure and I. We're not really working. We're just sitting here having a good time watching basketball.
Watching basketball, chilling.
It's these folks who have very long days to bring these pictures to you. And the sounds and the graphics and everything else that they do so well. Thank you so much.
Thank you to them. They make us look good.
Abo, great drive. Boise State now 9 unanswered points.
You know, Leon Rice has instilled so much confidence in Abo, and you can tell it every single time he steps on the floor. Right there, tough left-hand finish. Oh.
And indeed, Hunter Couture is back onto the floor. His pass set up Tyler Nickel for the drive, and he was fouled. Second on Degenhart. And so now Nickel will head to the line. He scored 2,900 points at East Rockingham High School. It's pretty good.
He's a bucket getter. A bucket getter.
He averaged 35 points per game a couple of years ago as a high school senior.
You average how many?
35 a game.
Oh my goodness! You know, I average
32 minutes.
I average 32 a game, and to average 35 is crazy, though.
Right.
That's almost 40.
He's a bucket. There you see. Pretty good names on that list behind him.
Mac McClung, what a name!
Slam dunk champion.
Yeah, what a name!
Abo being defended tightly. Cam Martin trying to play through the contact. Barron trying to be physical with him. The double team comes. Lots of contact, no call. Now we've got another hook and hold potential on the block away from the ball.
Yeah, there was a lot going on that play.
It seemed like we were just begging for whistles to be blown.
Yeah, there was a lot going on that play, but right there, Cam Martin, typically we don't see that from him. Whenever he gets doubled, he does a great job of passing out, but that time when he spun, they did a good job of bringing the backside double, which he wasn't aware of and had to force up the bad shot. But Degenhart being a force down low.
Third foul on Barron, and on the inbound, trying to hold his ground against Degenhart.
I really love that Boise State does this. They put a guy right there at the charge circle, and if you are not aware, if you are not paying attention to what's going on, they will throw it over your head and be able to get an easy post-up right there. I think more teams should do that.
Couture just got his first foul, and now the conversation between him and Doug Sermons as he is trying to keep the bigger man from posting him up on the inbound. There's Couture flying in for the rebound. Got the blood stopped above his left eye after being cut earlier in the half. Abo able to get the ball up. Ahead to Max Rice. Backdoor, Degenhart. Foul, Malijal Poteet. That's number 2 on big number 34.
You know, the size of Boise State at all 5 positions right now is causing Virginia Tech a little bit of problems. The shortest guy they have on the court is Max Rice at 6'6". Abo, 6'7". Degenhart, 6'7", 6'8", then a 6'9", and a 6'9", 6'10" inside of Cam Martin. The height of Boise State is causing Virginia Tech to get in foul trouble.
This young man is the first ever Boise State Bronco to start NCAA games both as a freshman and as a sophomore. Only gets 1 out of 2 from the line. The lead holds at 3 for the Broncos. Couture. Good box out and rebound by Chibuzo Abo. And he dribbles up.
Gotta look down low.
Big size advantage. And that leads to a good cut by Omar Stanley from the weak side of the layup.
You have to be able to locate the mismatch as a point guard. Know where you have the advantage and do it, execute it.
Padulo thought about it, goes around Martin, still with the dribble. Nickel. Long. Got it! Makai Long with a 2-point shot.
You know, that nothing makes me more upset as a basketball player if I throw you an assist and your foot is on the line, and it's 2 instead of 3, and I get upset.
Wouldn't you be more upset if he missed the shot? You still get an assist, even though it's 1 less point. I'd be more upset if he cost me an assist.
It depends on the time and point of the game.
All right. Degenhart fouled on the post.
It's right here. Great assist. And get your foot behind the line, Mekhi Long. Get your foot behind the line.
Did you have a habitual offender among your teammates at Baylor?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to set you up to throw someone under the bus.
Not that I remember. But you know when it really comes into effect? In pickup. More so than actual, like, basketball games.
Okay.
But when you're playing pickup and you're playing to a score, and then all of a sudden I throw you the pass, and we're playing 1s and 2 or 2s and 3s, and we need to get to 11, and we have 8. I'm like, bro, you could have stepped back and we could have ended the game. But now they get a chance and they come down and score. We lose because you didn't get your foot back.
A lane violation on Stanley. And so the Hokies catch a break. Mike Young, the 2021 ACC Coach of the Year. The Hokies were tournament champs the following year. Kidd turns and faces, goes strong to the basket for 2.
That's such a strong finish. I mean, both of those guys down low are extremely strong men with nice frames. So down low, that is not an easy bucket, not an easy one-on-one move right there.
13 points for Kidd, draws the Hokies back to within a pair.
I'd look to Cam Martin right now. He has a little bit of a size advantage down low with Mekhi Long guarding him.
Now he fades to the corner, gets the ball on the wing, Long all over him. Max Rice goes to the floor, ball's underneath him. Fight for the ball, shot clock about to go off when it goes out of bounds. It'll be Boise basketball when we come back. The Broncos and the Hokies fighting tooth and nail for a spot in the semifinal round tomorrow night. With King McClure, I'm Doug Sherman back at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. 11:50 to go in this quarterfinal game. Boise State holding on to the slim 2-point lead. Roddy Anderson back into the game at the point for the Broncos to inbound. Max Rice trying to beat that shot clock. Great anticipation by Hunter Couture because you knew you could go after him because the shot was going up.
But also a little bit risky because had he missed the ball and hit his hand, that would have been 3 free throws. But good hand-eye coordination.
And now I think R.J. Keene is going to be called for the foul, trying to keep Couture from getting the basketball.
Game getting a little chippy.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of liking it. I kind of like the chippiness. I mean, both teams playing with an edge, and they're showing their toughness. As long as it doesn't get taken too far, the refs are doing a great job of controlling it.
And indeed, it goes against R.J. Keene, whose father, Richard, was a parade All-American. He played at Illinois for 4 years. Kidd had it poked away from behind by Stanley. Padula in the right place at the right time. That's a 2-point corner shot.
That's a tough bucket because where he was deep in the corner. So the concentration to be able to make that with a hand in your face from that angle, not easy.
Degenhart was fouled. That's the 3rd on Mekhi Long. And the 8th team foul as we take another look.
Maybe on the right arm a little bit, Mekhi Long from the backside.
The NBA in-season tournament rolls on tomorrow night with another group play doubleheader. Beginning at 7:45 Eastern, Jimmy Butler and the Heat take on Julius Randle and the Knicks in East Group B. Then Steph and the 1-1 Warriors host Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs in West Group C. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown 7:30 Eastern on ESPN and the app.
The in-season tournament is so interesting to me. And I actually like it. A lot of people have their, you know, their concerns about it, but I really like the in-season tournament.
You had them either just regular season games.
Yeah.
Padula. Sneaking in for the offensive rebound and layup is Tyler Nickel. Deadlocked at 58.
Oh, great.
Offensive foul on Roddy
Great
Anderson.
defense. And we touched on it a little bit earlier. But the way that Virginia Tech's guards defend, that's a perfect example. Couture and Padula do a great job of staying in front of the basketball, and right here, takes it with the chest, falls, great call. Padula can really get up in you and defend at a high level, and we overlooked at it with the Virginia Tech guards.
Foul number 3 on Roddy Anderson III. Coach Rice opts to leave him on the floor. Brandon Rechsteiner into the game. He had a brief run in the first half of Virginia Tech. This is him with the basketball, freshman guard from Goldsboro, North Carolina. And the foul comes off the ball against R.J. Keene, his second. So now it's a 1-and-1 upcoming.
This second, team 7.
And so Hunter Couture, who earned his bachelor's degree in human development back in the summer of 2022. This past summer, even more noteworthy, he got engaged. His fiancee,
there we go.
Chloe, former Hokie on the women's basketball team.
Loving basketball at its finest.
Yeah, great movie.
No, that's a great movie. That's one of the best. Congratulations to him. Breaks the record. Gets his degree, probably got his master's almost, ain't getting engaged.
Going to get a chance for sure to play some professional basketball when his days in Blacksburg are done. As you say, and you've been marveling even during the commercial breaks, the form that he has on his three-point shot is something to envy.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to lie, I wish my jumper looked like his. My jumper was decent, but his is a thing of beauty.
Nickel for 3.
I like this. You got to go to work right now. You throw it right back to him. He has the mismatch.
Stanley comes up, sets the screen. Max Rice with a tough shot.
It's not a great possession. You had the mismatch with Stanley on a guard and Nickel and him down low. Feed it into him and let Stanley go to work.
Ken waits for Rechsteiner. Now Nickel gets it to Couture. Rejects the screen, gives it now to the screener Kidd. 5 on the shot clock.
Ooh.
Kidd's got to put it up. They're going to check to see if he beat the three-point buzzer.
Let's take a look at this. Ooh. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, my inclination is no as well.
I'm going to say no. I don't think he beat the buzzer right there. It looked like the ball was just on his fingertips right when the clock hit 0. So I'm going to have to say no.
Great job by our
Yes, I got it right.
slash cameraman to make sure he's framed that up so that the officials can see both the shooter and the clock at the exact same time.
That's the right call. The ball was right on the edge of his fingertips. So close. But that's the right call.
Yeah, that's a huge 2 points. Hokies lead remains at 2 instead of going to 4. The winner will get Iowa State in the second semifinal tomorrow here at the ESPN Events Invitational. Abo working hard for those 2 points.
You see right there, he got into trouble, but because of his high release and the elevation that he has on his jumper, it bailed him out.
The former Texas Tech Red Raider, now with 15 points, he's tied the game at 60. Nickel back to Barron. Penetrates, gets it blocked. Good recovery on defense by Degenhart. Anderson then had it taken away. Here comes Nickel. And the foul call comes that goes against Degenhart. Good action on both ends.
Really, really active hands. And Degenhart is sneaky athletic. But right here, great concentration from Nickel to know that you're probably about to get fouled. I sounded like you right there when I said fouled.
You're welcome.
Oh, man, Doug.
You're welcome.
And it's great concentration because when he looked at the corner of his eye, he knew what was about to happen. But he still was able to lay it up and get the ball up without it getting blocked.
I appreciate him putting his face mask up just long enough for us to catch a look at the face. He picks up his second foul. 1 out of 2 from the line for Nickel, and that puts the Hokies in front by a point.
You know, the Degenhart mask kind of reminds me of the LeBron mask when he was in Miami.
Okay.
I mean, not the same type of mask, but just the black mask.
Right.
Like, you typically see clear ones. But I like the black because the black kind of gives you like, intimidating vibes. Like I'm out here for like blood. Like I'm about to go out there and really go at you.
Abo back out front to Max Rice. Padula stays in front of him and takes the basketball away.
He's so tough and so stocky. He doesn't go anywhere. He stays in front of you, swipes down. Great defense.
Can you see him in the driveway with his older brothers?
Oh, yeah. You can tell Padula has that. He has that toughness to him, that grit, that edge that you can tell his older brothers used to pick on him.
Well, JJ and Edmund Padula know what their little brother Sean's all about. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex, the premier site for youth sports. See our upcoming events at DisneySports.com. And each year when we come back the week of Thanksgiving, it is unusually quiet around here. Usually those fields are just filled with young athletes from all around the country. But because families are together on Thanksgiving, this is a perfect time for college basketball to come and take over this facility.
You know, it's actually been kind of interesting to me to see the level of crowds that we've seen and the support that people give to schools on a day like today, Thanksgiving, when you're typically supposed to be with your family. But that just goes to show what basketball programs mean to fan bases.
Yep. And we've seen a proliferation of these MTEs, or multi-team events, over the course of the last 15, 20 years. And you know, the fields are released long enough in advance, a year in advance, and it allows families to figure out their schedules and make a vacation out of it. Boise State has turned it over 13 times. The Hokies have taken advantage with 25 points off of those turnovers. Conversely, only 11 points scored for Boise off of Tech turnovers. Jace Whiting working against Padula. Wide open Martin. Abo. And that Tech defense holds. Barron into Kidd. The defense lost track of big number 15.
How do you lose him? That's one guy on the court that you always have to be aware of.
He's now got 17 points to lead all scorers. 4 different Hokies in double figures. Couture, Padula, and Nickel as well. Stanley lines it up. It's good.
You know, I think that's something that Stanley can do consistently. When you look at the form, it looks good. Today was his first made three of the season, but now he's made two. I think pick and pop is in his future.
Perfect 2 for 2. He's got 13 points. One of 3 Broncos in double figures. Padula hesitates. Finds the open man, Nickel. He's got 2. So his foot was on the line.
That was great patience right there from Padula. Waited to the big, slide it away. Didn't have anything on the layup. Hit the drift pass. Great decision.
Stanley into the lane. Just over 5 minutes on the clock with a spot in the semis. Padula with the assist and Kidd with the flush.
Padula.
Here's a look at tonight's shot of the game, brought to you by Novavax.
Sean Padula with the fancy one-handed bounce pass, and Lynn Kidd finishing like a grown man, not a kid.
This is the largest lead of the ball game for Virginia Tech at 6. Kidd leads the way with 19 points. Padula with the pass. He and Couture both in double figures, and tip of the cap to Tyler Nickel. His 16 points off the bench matches his career high for the Tar Heels last year. He dropped 16 on the Citadel all in the second half, but he's been a nice key piece for Mike Young coming off the bench here tonight.
He's been huge. Instant scoring off the bench, and I think that's his role. That's what he provides.
Degenhart gathers, brings it back out. They go back into him. Max Rice catch and shoot 3. And a foul on the rebound as Cam Martin was battling against a couple of Hokies. That one goes against Elijah Poteet, his 3rd. And the 9th against Virginia Tech. And now Whiting will be replaced in the Boise State lineup by Omar Stanley. A little offense-defense here for Leon Rice.
This is the lineup in which they saw success in the second half. This taller lineup with Max Rice playing the point guard at 6'6".
Martin makes the first. Had a nice conversation with him yesterday. Very good-natured young man. Says Coach Rice told us that he had to pull out and dust off an old reel-to-reel tape player to watch film on his oldest recruit. Again, he was a 2-time Division II All-American. He started his college career in 2017 at Division I Jacksonville State. Actually a 3-time Division II All-American at Missouri Southern State before spending the last 2 years at Kansas. And now what we presume is his final year at college at Boise. He came as a package deal. That was a big part of it for him with his younger brother Alex, who's a non-scholarship member of the bench.
Look, I don't know. People love being in college nowadays.
Why not? What do you mean nowadays? Back in my day, we loved college.
Well, back in my day, we were going to pay 4 years max.
Right.
You getting in, getting out. Now guys want to stay there for 10 years.
Offensive foul. Abo is called for the foul, his 3rd.
I think this is the right call, because when he turned around and led with his elbow, and the elbow went into the face. Let's look at it. He turned around, he led with his elbow right there. Padula getting underneath him. But when you lead with the elbow, 99% of the time, it will be an offensive foul.
3-point shot by Nickel, a little strong. Lynn Kidd battling inside with Cam Martin. And that foul will take us to break. 3:51 on the clock with the Broncos down by 4.
Well, Doug, this is Lynn Kidd. but he's no kid.
No.
He is a grown man that has developed, that has improved, and now he is a force to be reckoned with. Can finish with both hands inside the post. He is tough as nails, and my guy gets it done. Grown man finish from Lynn Kidd.
He was a top 100 recruit coming out of high school who has blossomed into a star this year as a senior. Tonight he's 6 of 8 from the floor, and his shooting percentage has actually gone down.
Man, 6 of 8 is impressive. When you talk about going down, that's still one heck of a shooting percentage. I think this will be his breakout year. When he goes into ACC conference, he's going to be playing against great bigs like Kyle Filipowski, Armando Bacot. I think that he is good enough to be able to compete with those guys.
Cam Martin at the free throw line. Out of Yukon, Oklahoma. He's got a couple of free throws.
Yukon, Oklahoma. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I've never heard of Yukon, Oklahoma.
Y-U-K-O-N. It's not U-C-O-N-N. Just making sure you know it. Yukon, Oklahoma.
What is that even by? Is that by Oklahoma City?
Again, you're
I'm
asking
curious.
the wrong guy. You've got questions for me. I just can't answer, kid. Hunter Couture. Big three. A quiet second half for number 0 until that shot.
Yeah, he's missed his last 3 or 4, but good shooters do not stop shooting because they know all it takes is one, and they're back on track.
Rice answers at the other end.
It's a big-time follow-up because the 3 Couture hit felt like the game was about to get out of hand, but Max Rice says no, sir.
Foul against Virginia Tech off the ball. Couture's third.
Let's take a look at this. I mean, yes, I see where he pushed off, but was it enough to get the foul called on him? I don't know if I agree.
The Broncos have led by as many as 12, trying to retake the lead here. No. Couture comes up to set the screen. Now with the switch, Padula going to work against the bigger defender. Barron has it poked away. The Broncos secure the basketball. It's a held ball. And the possession arrow belongs to Virginia Tech. The Hokies will keep with only 4 on the shot clock.
Right there, Barron might have over-dribbled. He took a bounce too many. And as soon as he took that bounce, that's when Abo was able to stick his hand in there and get the deflection. Look at this right there. Abo gets his hand in there and gets a deflection because he went a little too deep. Should have kicked.
Now Padula has got to shoot it. He's got it! A huge 3 by the junior out of Edmond Memorial High School.
Padula, big shot. Shot it from the parking lot. Big time, though.
Gegenhart. No. Good defense underneath by Tech. 1:45 on the clock. Padula. Boy, his will to win, his toughness, it just infects this team.
You can tell he had older brothers because right now he is just so tough. The moment is not too big for him. Sean Padula is putting the team on his back, willing his team to this victory. You are seeing the toughness right now, right here. 3 seconds to go, it doesn't matter. Sean Padula can get it up there, puts the arc on it to will it in, and to get to the cup in such a crucial, pivotal point of the game. Padula is willing his team to win, letting everybody know who he is.
Well, King, you know, his high school coach calls him a cold-blooded assassin.
I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Now, he may not look it.
I like it.
But when you watch him play, you get that sense.
He's one of those guys where when I was playing, if I'm playing against a guy like Padula, one thing you know about him, he's never going to give up.
Right.
And he just gets on your nerves. So, like, offensively, you try to attack him, he's always there.
Yeah.
And then he comes back on the offensive side, and then you're, oh, snap, he has game. He can really hoop. He can get to the cup. He can shoot, and he's confident, right?
Yep.
So I see him talking a little bit and jawing a little bit. He's just one of those guys that gets on your nerves and wears you down over the course of a 40-minute game.
Relentless. He has given the Hokies their largest lead of the night, 77-70. Max Rice traveled.
All right, look at that right there. We just talked about it. Look at it. That's one-on-one defense. He fought over the screen, didn't even get touched by it, forced the travel on. Look at this right here. That is elite defense, to fight over the screen and then to force the travel because of the pressure you are putting on the ball. Padula is extremely tough. You got to go score that.
Nickel had it slip right through his fingertips off the pass from Padula. And like you said, it should have been 2.
Nickel has to go to the basket on that. This is not the time to stall. When you have a layup, you go shoot the layup because now you're up by 9 instead of 7. But he ran to the corner and wasn't expecting Padula because Padula led him to the basket where he should have been.
Here's Chase Whiting back into the ball game. Abo, no. Kidd tries to save it and does to Couture. 1 minute to go. Padula in no hurry.
No need to be. No need to be in a hurry. You don't need to stall, but don't need to be in a hurry.
Pulls up with 5 on the timer. Boise State with the basketball. 33 seconds to go in regulation.
Got to go fast if you're Boise.
Martin got the defender up. The ball goes out of bounds off of.
Boise State basketball. Ball's under review.
Off of Virginia Tech, and it will be reviewed with 24.1 on the clock.
That was such a fundamental move by Martin. The jab step to create separation, the up fake. Let's see who it went out on. Ooh.
Looked to me like Martin was the last to touch.
From that angle, it looked like it might have been Martin. This might be a better angle right here.
Yeah, it's Martin.
That's off on Martin. That is Virginia Tech basketball.
Yep. And that is the signal we get as they saw the same replays we have. And Cam Martin knows. He's not going to argue. He knows he was the last to touch. So now the Broncos have to press. Shot clock is off. 24.1 remaining in regulation. Padula gets rid of the basketball to Robbie Barron. And then the foul comes at midcourt with 19.8 on the clock. Foul number 4 on Abo.
Fourth personal. Carry the line, 2-2.
Barron makes the first out of the collegiate school in Richmond, Virginia. Palmer makes a pair, stretches the lead to 9. Degenhart fouled on the jumper, and he will head to the line.
Wow.
That's the 4th on Robbie Barron.
You know, typically that's not really a call that you typically see at this point of the game. Did he get fouled? Yeah. You can make the argument, but that's typically not a call. Down 9, 15 seconds to go. Most referees are like, hey, let's get out of here. And they won't call that. But that's typically not a call you see at this point in the game.
And they said he was behind the three-point line, and so this is a 3-shot foul. Big chance for the Broncos to put points on the board without the clock running to keep the slim hopes still alive.
You know, if there's one positive that you take away, I mean, I think there's a lot of positives to take away if you're Leon Rice from this game, but you got Degenhardt back to being that Degenhardt that you know he can be. I mean, at 17 points tonight, it's probably one of his better games, probably not his best game this whole year.
Kobe Young commits his first foul and will send Padula back to the line to shoot a pair.
Padula at the line. Shooting 2.
Well, trying to ice it at the free throw line. Young now goes out. Degenhardt in. Lynn Kidd takes a seat for Tech. And Mekhi Long is back on the floor. Big second free throw for Padula. Whiting with the layup. 80-75. And Tech will call a timeout. It had 3 remaining. And Sabarin didn't like what he saw, and he uses one of those TOs. Well, let's take a look at our bracket here at the ESPN Events Invitational. This is the conclusion of day 1. Texas A&M, FAU, the 2 ranked teams in the field have already advanced. Iowa State awaits the winner of this one, looking like it's going to be Virginia Tech. What a field we have here, King. 6 of the 8 teams were in the NCAA tournament a year ago. It's
deep. I mean, I think this is one of the best tournaments that ESPN puts on. And this field right here, even the teams that you consider quote-unquote mid-major, these are powerful mid-majors.
No doubt.
That have done a lot in college basketball.
FAU went to the Final Four last year. VCU is one of the perennial contenders in the A-10 and goes to the dance, seems like, every year. And this Boise State team has been to the last 2 NCAA tournaments. You're right, the 3 that are outside of the, quote, power conferences are very, very dangerous. Barron will try again to inbound with 5.6 remaining. Couture is fouled. And he will head to the line to shoot 2 to try and further put this thing away. Second personal on Stanley. Well, it's been a big night for Hunter Couture, coming back to his hometown in the first half with 30 friends and family members in attendance. He established the all-time career three-point shooting record in program history and is going to guide his team into the semifinals.
There's no surprise when you shoot the ball the way he does.
Dad and Mom enjoying it. Mom Kathy, Dad Rodney, they watch their son in his 5th year college basketball have a good one, and the Hokies win it by 7.
It took them a little minute to wake up, but they finally did. And Padula, you can't say enough about him. And I'm looking forward to the matchup, Padula versus Lipsy tomorrow. The battle of the stocky small guards.
We're going to put that on a banner somewhere.
But both guys extremely talented. And what they lack in size, they make up for it in toughness.
Meanwhile, for Boise State, you let a 12-point lead slip away. You've got a quick turnaround.
You do, but one thing about Leon Rice and his team, I think that they have enough pieces to where they will be okay. The matchup with them versus VCU, oh, that's going to be intriguing as well.
No doubt. Lynn Kidd, Hunter Couture, both with 19 points. Sean Padula, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Our final score in our final quarterfinal, Virginia Tech 82, Boise State 75. Coming up next, SEC Storied, the Book of Manning. So long from Orlando.